So welcome to the third part of Halfdan the Black Saga. Today I'll be reading about Halfdan's wife, Ragnhild, and her dreams, as well as Halfdan the Black's dreams himself, prophetic dreams. And last time was about Håke the Berserk and Halfdan defeating him and taking Ragnhild, the daughter of Sigurd, as his own wife. So let's get into it. On Ragnhild's dreams. Queen Ragnhild dreamt great dreams. She was very wise. There was one of her dreams where it was as if she stood in her garden and was removing a thorn from a buckle on her dress. And while she was holding it, it grew into a large spindle, so one end touched down to the earth and quickly grew roots, while the other end of the tree shot high up into the sky. A thorn here is also the original word is means a needle in a buckle. Then she thought the tree was so large that she could barely see what was over it. It was enormously large. The bottom part of the tree was red as blood, while the trunk was beautifully green and the branches white as snow. There were a lot of branches on the tree, some towards the top and some towards the bottom. The branches of the tree were so great that she thought they covered all of Norway and even further out. So a quite obvious interpretation here is this is her family, which will grow from her and Halfdan's marriage. Even though Harald Fine here, his son, is kind of the first one who connects Norway. Halfdan the Black is like the father of the lineage in a way, that specific lineage. Of course it goes further back, but Snorri chooses to start the individual king sagas with Halfdan the Black. And he does a lot of the groundwork for what Harald finishes later. Anyway, Halfdan's dream. King Halfdan never dreamed. He thought this was strange and sought counsel with a man that was called Thorleif the Wise and asked his advice on what to do. Thorleif said what he used to do. If he wanted forewarning of one thing or the other, he would lay down in the pigsty to sleep, and then he would not be lacking of dreams. The king did just that and had the following dream. It seemed to him that he had the most beautiful hair of all men, and that his hair hung down in curls. Some hung down to the earth, some halfway down to his shins, some to his knees, some to his hips, some halfway down his sides, some to his throat, and some not more than had they just sprung out of his skull like small horns. The locks of his hair were in all shades, but one lock overshadowed all the others with its fair color, beauty, and size. He told Thorleif about his dream, and he interpreted it thus: that he would have many descendants, and they would rule over countries with great honor, but still not all with equal honor. One would come of his line that would rise above all the others, and this men have taken to be a sign of King Olaf the Holy. King Halfdan was a wise man and a man of truth and justice, and he set laws down and he held himself accountable to them as well as others, so that the law would not be ruined by selfishness. He also had made a list of fines and adjusted every fine according to a person's birth and standing. Queen Ragnhild gave birth to a son. They had water poured over him and named him Harald. He quickly grew to be large and most fair. He grew up there and soon became a master of sports and wise in his ways. His mother was very fond of him, but his father less so. So that's Halfdan the Black wasn't so fond of the future King Harald when he was a child. Maybe he was just a strict father. Anyway, it's quite an unorthodox way to stimulate prophetic visions, lying down in the pigsty. This is what it says, Svinaberg in the original. And yeah, it's interesting to note that Halfdan the Black, he wasn't Christian, and apparently the pagans also baptized with water. So that's interesting to see that King Harald was baptized with water. Yeah, otherwise there's not so, like, these chapters are pretty straightforward. I had a little bit delay before picking it up again with this episode. It's because there's been quite a lot of work recently. I work in the theater world, most of my work, and with the opening up, suddenly everything that should have been done over half a year is being done in 2 months. So quite busy, but that's good. Good to have work. Yeah, I guess that's it for this time. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe. If you have any comments, things you disagree on, want to add, or anything, please write them. I always get back to comments, and hope you join me for a video in the future as well.